Hello.
Good night.
I'm doing my best to have this camera where I need it. I'm running a real
You're
rat here,
fine.
but we'll wait it out.
Infectious melodies, right, Shady? I have to let this one run. We don't sing a freedom.
Don't want nobody tell me about
Oh,
leaving.
get to the line, folks.
Like everything and this is we play. Take me home.
Good night. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. It's
You
been a
look
hectic day, but I'm good.
refreshed. I
I look
pray that you
refreshed.
had a wonderful day.
I had a wonderful.
Nice, nice, nice. I think we got a little pause there. Let's see if he froze. Yes, he did. Hopefully he comes back. I don't know how this thing is go when it's ready. Let's see. All right, he's back.
I'm not sure what happened there.
I
All
don't know,
right.
you're froze. So
Okay.
I'm gonna let you know. Good night to David Allen Photography. I'm gonna let you know that when I save this live, it also goes on the Behind the Soca YouTube channel.
Okay.
All the songs that have been added to the playlist, it's on Apple Music. So I have Behind the Soca playlist, so your songs will be there as well, so
Okay.
that people can check it out.
No
But
problem.
for those on the live, I want you to introduce yourself and tell them where in Trinidad and Tobago you're representing.
My name is Muhammad Muwakil. I'm the lead singer of Freetown Collective, and I am from Belmont, BIM.
Really?
Mhm.
What part of Alabama? Why I thought you was a South man?
I might have a South vibe. Big up Point Fortin, see me. Um, Katie's Road. Everybody's
Key,
Savannah.
yes, I know Katie's Road.
Yeah.
I one time lived at Bella Road. No one told me how Bella Road was, but yeah, I was safe.
Mm-hmm.
I was
Was
safe.
in the hood. It was down in the hood.
I know. No one warned me.
I am very close to my younger sibling. Take them all over the place. And when they get any car, they immediately reach for the radio and turn on the radio and they parroting whatever is on the radio, whether it be Vibes Cartel or whatever, right? And no disrespect to any artist, but not all of this music is consumable by children. It shouldn't be. And they knew the songs word for word.
Right.
At the time, I was doing spoken word poetry, and I really felt like, okay, as an artist, where's the real estate I want to inhabit? It's their minds. I want to be there. And as much as they would come to a show of mine doing poetry or whatever, they're not gonna walk around reciting a poem.
Right.
It has to be music. And so, one of the driving factors in the beginning to start doing music was to make music for them. And so conceptualize a little CD with some songs or whatever and gave it to their mom to play for them.
Okay.
And by the second week of her playing it in the car every day, they were singing the songs word for word. So I realized it didn't have so much to do with the content of it, because honestly, those weren't very good songs at the time. I just made songs for these children and them to sing so they wouldn't sing cartel.
Right.
And yeah, they were singing them word for word and they were happy and they loved the songs. So I was like, all right, well, I started trying to teach myself to play guitar, and then eventually I met Lou. I had written a song at that time and he wanted to put a verse on the song. He put a verse on the song, and then we wrote another song called Mama Africa, and after that, really, it was just history. After that, we didn't stop writing to this day.
So how did you feel to know that you created a product that the kids were now singing word for word? Like, how did that make you feel inside?
Yeah, I mean, it was the whole point. It was the whole point, and to see it happen so soon with them, because they was at such an age, like most of them were under the age of 10,
Right.
They just impressed. It's so impressionable. Anything I do as big brother, them want to do it too,
Right.
So I sing in a song. It don't matter if my voice not good to me or whatever. To them, I the big brother, and I have a song. Yeah, they're gonna learn the song. And so it felt. It made me understand very early on what the power of this music is and why I don't play with music.
Right. So what was the name of the first song that you guys came
The
together?
name of the first song is a song called Love Transition.
Okay.
Love
So
Transition.
normally I would ask the guest to sing the piece of the first song. So you remember it?
Yeah, I remember this. So it goes they say we can't write no love songs, live fast and we die young. They say we doomed to fail. Yeah. They say we prone to violence and a sinking silence. They don't know what they say. No, no, no. Cause this generation, man, we on a mission. A whole world to change. That's the chorus of the
So
verse.
I get a little piece of David Rara there.
Well, I mean, it might be so. I might be singing it so differently now because who I was when I wrote that and who I am now is totally different. But yeah,
But
it's in there. It's in there.
the
It's in there.
words that I just heard, I think it could relate to what's going on in society today.
Well, that's the thing. The more we sing that song, is the more relevant it becomes. Like the older the song gets, is the more relevant because the chorus says, "I see," but the verse says, "I see bodies lying in the street, nations collapse in the midday heat. Lord, I need to cool my head. They're calling it a brave new world, freedom for brave new boys and girls. But what good is freedom if you're dead? I don't mean in literal sense. Death itself is a consequence, but bodies for sale and souls for rent." Like, it is very relevant
You
to
come up with
today.
that. Wow.
Just observing, watching life.
Yeah. I think a lot of songs that really deep, it mostly derive from what is going on around you.
Yeah.
Right? So you see that and you're like, you know what, if I put this in song, then they will hear me and they will pay attention to what's going on.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
you really can't get everyone to pay attention to what's going on around them, right? Everybody focus on them, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I really, really like that. That was on point. So you decided to sing when you heard your little ones doing Carter word for word, and that gave you
Yeah.
the inspiration.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Because I don't believe in standing by and not doing something when you see something wrong, you know.
Right.
And if you have the capacity to change something that you think is not correct,
Mm-hmm.
you should do it. You know, in Islam, they say if you see something wrong and you have the capacity to stop it with your hands, stop it. And if you have
Mm-hmm.
the capacity and you don't have the capacity to stop it with your hands, then speak about it. And
Right.
if you can't even speak about it, then dislike it in your heart. But
Mm-hmm.
that is the weakest part of faith, to just dislike it in your heart. So if you could do something, you should always do something, you know. And we had the capacity to do something. And here we are 15 years later,
Right.
still trying to do something, you know. Yeah.
It will never end.
No.
Shady saying art reflects life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Good point there. So how would you describe your journey thus far personally and collectively with the group in music industry?
Um, when we started making music, there was no such thing as an industry in our
Mm,
heads. We just wanted to make art and we wanted to share our art as widely as possible and have it impact the world and impact our people and, you know, build our audience and that kind of stuff. We weren't really thinking about being a part of an industry or anything like that. But
okay.
as we progressed and we got opportunities to perform with Marshall and to do songs with Major Lazer and to travel and open for Damian Marley and different things came up, we started to realize, well, okay, this is not no jokey thing. You need to take the business of it seriously. And
Mm,
so you start learning about the industry and where you need to be and how you see yourself and what is it to make an album, what does it mean to live as an artist and to prepare to grow old as an artist, to you know, how do you make a life as an artist? And so it
right.
was very difficult as a collective for a long time to kind of get things together, you
Okay.
know, because there was nowhere that we could really go and get the knowledge that we needed. We had to kind of piece things together from this one and from that one. And I mean, you as artists will know that yourself. It's not any one place you could just go and be like, right, well, I understand. Especially as Caribbean artists, especially coming
Mm.
up in the genre that you know, in the space that we're coming up in. And
Why do
so
you think that
collectively,
is though? Sorry.
because we have a history and a tradition of hoarding information and not telling the younger ones
But
things
we would
until you
say
know the
gatekeeping.
gatekeeping in a
Right.
real way, you know. But it's a tradition where my grandmother, she's 89, and she will look at a man who is 75 and say he's a little boy.
Mm,
So if he's a little boy, what am I?
right.
And the respect that she would give to me, and that's how our elders are. They watch
Right.
us like little children. But
Mm-hmm.
somebody who is 20 years old is not a little child.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
And so passing the information on to the younger ones so that they could have a better start than we did. A lot of elders did not on that. But we've been breaking that, you know, from day one. Once we learn something, we pass it on. So
Right.
collectively, it was a difficult journey, but a beautiful one. And I mean, so many opportunities, so many things.
Okay.
And personally, it was a journey of unfolding for me. I was born a very staunch Muslim.
Okay.
Um, wasn't really supposed to be getting into music and performing and carnival worse yet and all them things, you know. Nobody ever
Right.
tell me about my culture
Mm,
and the power of it and all kind of thing. I was always told it's just devil thing, and I mean, stay away from that.
right.
And then growing up and meeting people like N2 Springer and Leroy Clark and Pat Bishop and Ella Andel and Peter Minshall and getting to know these people personally and hearing what the culture really was from people who understood its impact, that
Mm,
really changed my life in a big way, you know? So for me, it's been a constant unfolding and peeling away at layers that were put there before I knew who I was, you
mm,
know? So really finding my true self and building a foundation on the idea of a real self,
mm-hmm,
you know?
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shout to Aiko on the live, so big up Aiko George on the live. What I wanna tell you is with Ella Andel, well, one I love Ella Andel. She sings with so much power, right? I remember when my late friend Devon Matthew was doing a song, The Journey is the name of the song.
Even
Yes.
though the road is long
And
and the
he was
path come.
like, listen to this. I need to get somebody on this. And I was like, you need Ella Andel. And he was like, I don't have no contact for her. I got the number. They did the track, but he didn't send it back to me. And I think when he sent it, at the time I have a Samsung phone. And apparently it just went straight to the library. So I was there listening to music one day, and all I heard was Zendile, Zendile. And the thing was so powerful. I was like, wait, who is this? I started to scream because I couldn't believe that he executed this with Ella and I realized that with her, with David Rudder, with Super Blue, certain things they will sing because they are of Baptist faith, Orisha faith, however, they incorporated that into their music, you know. So it's always not lost. You can still bring what you believe in into your music.
Yeah, no. I'm not by no means saying all is lost or anything like that. It's just a matter of unfolding. I'll
Hmm.
always bring what I believe into the music. Every single thing that I do, I bring what I believe into.
Yeah. Yeah, I could tell. So to date, how many songs would you say Freetown Collective have released?
Released. Good Lord. I don't even know. I don't even know because there have been albums.
Wow.
You know, Born in Darkness is an album that has, I think that album has 13 songs on it, or t between 10 and 13.
Mhm.
Then Yago has 13. Then we did a movie soundtrack that has another. So right there you have 40 songs already, and
Right.
all the other singles. I mean, it could be rolling up on like 75, maybe close to
Wow.
more than that. I don't know. A lot,
Wow.
a lot.
Wow. So, but I want to thank you for clarifying, that you grew up as a Muslim because I was trying to figure is he Muslim or is he Baptist? Like I was trying to figure out. But then I
Me,
was like, yeah,
I
then I
am
said
me.
maybe he's just spiritual. That's it.
I believe in God, and I think we try again to try to quantify that which we have no business trying to quantify.
You're
You know what I
right.
mean? So you want to give a name to it, but all the things we name is just our attempt at trying to understand something that we can't really understand. So we call a flower, but who tell you that is what it is? And does
Right.
that give you an explanation of what it
Yeah.
is? You know what I mean? Somebody call you by your name and it's like, is that really your
You're
name?
right.
You know what I mean?
When it's on
It's
the
all
good
co
paper, so
attempt.
you're like, yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, I do
it's,
question certain things. Like, how did they come up with a name for this? Like, how did they look at this and say this is what it's supposed to be called?
yeah.
You know? So I understand fully. So do you guys write all your songs or do you work with writers?
So in the beginning, we wrote everything,
Hmm.
everything, and then um, I started realizing that if you want to tap into the soul of our people, you cannot tell yourself, I'm not working with nobody, I'm not writing with nobody, because everything is now going to be simply from your perspective and your perspective alone. And if you really want to touch the world, you
Right.
need, in my opinion, you need other perspectives. So I used to have a thing about writing everything by myself. Like I wrote the whole of Feel the Love by myself. Every single line in Feel the Love,
Wow.
every melody, everything. That was
I,
me.
I played that
Um,
earlier.
yeah, everything was me in
Wow.
Feel the Love. And there was, I think, there's a lot of ego involved in that. It's like I write all my songs, but we all, we are a nation full of people, and people have their different experiences.
Yeah.
So, um, if you really want something that touches a wide cross section of people,
Hmm.
you either have to have that type of experience, and not all of us do. So I think as a writer, every now and then you will come up with something that crosses the
Okay.
borders. But if you want to be prolific in a certain type of way and you really want to touch people, yeah, you sometimes need to collaborate with other minds, other spirits, and other energies, you
Like
know? Yeah.
like mass. Mass come
Like
again.
Mass, like
Yeah.
Mass for sure. Yeah. I went down by Tano, and Tano and I were working on something else, and then I went to the bathroom. And when I was coming back, um, I was walking back from the bathroom by Tano, and I hear him playing this thing on the piano. And I was like, "What's that?" He said, "That's just some treasure, and I have there." I was like, "No, that's what we come to work on today, whoever that is." So he started singing it, and I was like, "Yeah, that's what I think." And then Teja walked in the door like 10 minutes after, and we
Wow.
just started writing. We just started, he had a lot of the lyrics and stuff, and we just started kind of rewriting some of them because some of them were not where they were now.
Mm-hmm.
And then they had everything right up to, and everybody chanting now. And then I
Oh.
came in with the woes, and I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. So, and that's how that
Did
whole
you
thing happened.
know that he was going to be there on that day?
Nah, nah.
Wow.
But this happens a lot. It happens a lot. The music is called people. The music is talk for
Mhm.
itself. It asks for what it wants. If it knows you're willing to listen, if you're honest with it, the music,
Yeah.
it tell
I
you. It always tells
I
you.
can see the alignment with you and him because he to me is on the same path as you, like,
Absolutely. Yeah,
very
man.
humble. Very humble. Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
we always talking and
That's
talking
good.
about, what needs to be done and what we intend to do and how we're going to do it. And,
Hmm.
we'll
Hmm.
be working together again soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so who are some of the other artists and producers that Freetown Collective have worked with over the years?
Yeah. One of the producers that is really responsible for
Mhm.
us would be Sheriff.
Oh,
Sheriff is a man.
really?
Yeah, Sheriff produced our first album, and
Okay.
Sheriff was one of the major producers on Feel the Love as well.
Mhm.
Um, when I went to record Feel the Love, the final vocals, I had everything right up until the nanas. And I remember signing up at the mic and I was just like, I got laugh and flip. All of them don't know me well, and they gonna know your name, and then people coming on, saying, "Ooh, love is life, and life is love." That's kind you feel the love that's in you. If you feel it, let me hear you
Mhm.
say. I was like, say what, boy? And he was like, what you feeling to say? And I was just like, nah, 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 nah. And he's like, I said, but I can't say that. He's like, no, that's it. Sing
Right.
that. I was like, nah, 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 nah. But Sheriff has been a big, big influence. I don't think that, I mean, I don't know, right? God have his own plan, but I don't know that Freetown would be where we are today without Sheriff. Yeah, differentology, Sheriff, Shady.
Okay.
Um, I don't know that we would have been where we are today without Sheriff. I actually spoke to him today because yesterday was his birthday.
Oh, wow.
So big up Sheriff.
Yeah,
So
yeah, happy
Sheriff is
birthday,
one.
Sheriff. Yeah.
Sheriff is one for sure. Tanu is definitely one.
Hmm.
Um, Kit, who just did Take Me Home with Us, is also
Hmm.
one. You know, man, it has so many people. Beaver, Carl Beaver Henderson
I've never
is also
heard
one.
of that. Okay.
Yeah, Beaver is real old school. Martin Raymond, who we know as Mice.
Heard of mice.
Um, Yeah, there are quite a few people over the years who have helped. The
Yeah.
two Japanese men, Yoichi and Katsumi, they also at one point came in and really assisted us and stuff like that. So there are quite a few people who deserve the flowers
Yeah.
for being there for Freetown. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I agree, Shady. Cat is a different kind of person. But for some reason I thought Feel the Love was with DJ Pirate Vine. So I was gonna ask how did that come about, like that collaboration, because I'll never forget
Hmm.
it. That's the first time I like really tapped into or became aware of Freetown Collective, that Carnival 2020 with Feel the Love.
Yeah. So Ryan approached me 2018
Mm-hmm.
and he was going to do Brainwash, and the title was
Right,
Wonderland, and he wanted to make a theme song for Wonderland.
right.
So he sent me the rhythm, and I wrote it and I sent it back to him, and we just couldn't get the music right. Something
Mhm.
about it just wasn't right, and we kept messing with it, and it and it could have been even 2017, because Feel the Love sat down for 2 years before we released it.
Wow.
Yeah, and then at the end of 2019 we released it, and I mean the rest is history, right?
Did you guys get to perform that, like,
Not very
because
much.
I
We did get a good few performances there, but
yeah.
we had like 7 or 8 international performances booked, and then the pandemic just slammed down on us, you know.
How did you
But God,
feel? Like I just couldn't
honestly,
imagine.
nah, honestly, I didn't, and I'm not saying it in no kind of way, like, but honestly, I didn't feel no way.
Mm,
Um, we had to, well, if we're being very real, we had made a good amount of money that carnival, so I
right.
had some money in my account, and
When he froze, I didn't even realize. I think it's internet connection or something.
trying to call man. I don't
Oh,
know how to
okay.
stop that from happening.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, it's a worldwide pandemic, and nothing we could do about that.
Hmm.
And so for me, I just kind of got down to the business of, well, what is this that happening here? I can't go and be angry because God say, well, or it locked down. It must have a
Right.
reason. And the pandemic was one of the most spiritual times of my life.
Mm.
I grew so much in that time. So yeah, I mean, I remember somebody saying to me halfway through the pandemic, boy, this thing real mess all you up. And it was the first time I thought about it. I was like,
Mm.
Yeah, I guess we did lose a lot of opportunities that we might have gotten. But then who knows who I would have become
Right.
if I had those opportunities then, you know what I mean? Maybe I needed to grow a lot more in order to be able to accept what I'd accept. So,
Yeah.
if God have a plan, God have a plan, we don't get vexed for God plan.
You're right. At a point, I got depressed. And people were like, no, use the time to write. And I was like, I can't even think right now. I can't even think of writing a song right now. Like, I just think it was the most depressing thing. Like, you can see your family, like you're coming off of Trinidad Carnival 2020, you're looking
Yeah,
forward to other things, and it was just a mess. And I was
yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh my
yeah.
God. But everything happened for a reason, and if that was your time to go in deeper into, your spiritual self, then hey, that's just how it goes. So you guys have traveled all over, right? So
Yeah.
where are some of the places that Freetown Collective have performed internationally?
We've been to Japan, we've been to Rotterdam, we've been to we've been to London, we've been to a lot of places in the region here as well. We've been to Cuba, we've been to where my brain places, plenty,
You've been to
plenty places.
Cuba. Wow.
Yeah, Cuba.
So which one of those places was your most memorable place to visit?
I think being able to do well, we opened for UB40 year before, and we did
Mm-hmm.
Glastonbury Festival last year. Being able to open for UB40 is London. I mean, it's out in Birmingham,
Yeah.
and it take a long drive, and just being able to open for UB40. I think till today that probably ain't really sink in for me yet that happened, because it's like you
Wow.
grew up hearing these people, and then to have them kind of reach out and um through management and whatever, and then be so gracious with us and give us a whole hour-long set to perform before them. And
Wow.
it was just real beautiful. Like, we were there in Birmingham, and it's 4,000 people who don't even know who you are in front of you there, and they loving the music and vibing with you and whatever.
Hmm.
It was truly like, it was one of those moments that affirmed that everything that you had done up to this point made sense,
Mm.
and that it all led you to this point. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So
You have
I
a
would
lot
say
of
that was one
photos?
of, huh?
Sorry, do you have a lot of photos for memories? I can look back and be like, wow.
Yeah,
And
we had a
footage.
videographer and a photographer with
Mm-hmm.
us. So yeah, we had stuff on posted stuff on the page and things like
Yeah.
that. So yeah,
Yeah, shit, he's saying UB is a big deal. No.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
such a guest here, I want you to tell us about the concert that Freetown Collective puts on every carnival, have been putting on for the past couple of years.
yeah.
How did you guys come up
So
with that?
we real miserable, eh? When we started, we knew that nobody was gonna hire us when we started,
Why is
because we were just weird.
that
Because we were weird. We weren't making soca
unique?
music. No, we were weird. And we weren't making soca music. We were making our own thing.
Mm,
Nothing was sounding like what we were doing, and it was just two fellas with guitars, and learning to sing.
okay.
And so we started throwing our own shows from the very beginning. And I mean
Okay.
from the very beginning, like before we even really had the name Freetown Collective, we had a show.
Mm,
And we consistently threw shows for years, and we
okay.
built, we built, we built. So that when we finally had our first album, well, no, before that, um, Raucus, our DJ, he came on board, and he's an event producer. So
Oh.
he was like, "How come you all didn't do a bigger type of show?"
Mm,
Because we had been doing these kind of smaller shows, and then after a while, we kind of stopped doing the shows for a little while.
okay.
And he said, "Yeah, you all should do bigger shows. I think you all have the audience for it now." And then we did a show at the Black Box,
Mm,
and we sold out 2 nights at the Black Box. And then we did it again, and we sold out the 2 nights. And then he was like, "All right, let's do the album launch." And then at the album launch, we had like 500 people, and we are like, "All right, wow, this is growing. This is amazing."
yeah.
So we sat down and we made the decision, and this was before Feel the Love hit. We made the decision that in 2020 we were going to do a show in the carnival. So we had no idea if we were going to like, we have Feel the Love, but we didn't know it was going to be a hit. And we were like, all right, we need to organize a show in the carnival. We never do nothing in carnival before, but they say, hey, if we're going in carnival, let we go.
Mm,
And we threw that first show by the time we threw the show, Feel the Love was a full-on hit. But we didn't really know. We didn't really know how to capitalize on it because we didn't have no, we had no carnival experience. But anyway, that first show, we had a good bit of people, and then we did it a few more times. This iteration was the fourth one,
Okay.
and yeah, this was the largest one we've had so far, But it was really just a decision that we want to show up in Carnival how we want to show up in Carnival. We want to show people that there's an alternative space.
Right.
It's not just all fet and jump up and whatever, and to give some of the artists who are really, really talented opportunity to show themselves in a different way than they might be asked to in the fets, So yeah, creating that space. I'll let you in on something. We about to do something else at another point in the year. Can't tell you exactly what it is, but to create something else very soon that will give opportunities to other artists as well, and possibly bring artists into Trinidad who the bigger promoters would never bring, but we want to see them, Yeah.
And that's because I always say be the change you wish to see, right?
Absolutely.
And the music that you guys create, it's not only for Carnival. It's not just for Carnival season. It could be year round.
It's for life.
So for life, as you said. So you see how good it is to bet on yourself, and you do the concerts, and you're like, wow. Now you're like huge now, and it's like, okay, what's next, right? So fill in the blank here for me. Freetown Collective brings blank to the table that makes them so unique in this industry.
Spirit,
Mm,
spirit, soul. Mm-hmm.
yeah, a lot of soul, definitely. So we're now gonna get into Muhammad, the individual. You would describe yourself as a poet or a storyteller?
I don't think you could separate the two, but I'm a storyteller. Poetry is one of the forms that I use to tell these stories. But I'm a storyteller. I've always been a storyteller. This is who I am.
Yeah. I didn't do the thumbs. Maybe I did because I had my hand here. I thought it was you. Yeah, Lion is saying Spirit Fire. So big up Lion Raw Productions as well. He's the one that started me in the music industry. He's a producer and he also makes music. So I want to know if there's one thing you could change about your musical journey, what would that be? Now I kind of know what you're going to say. 'Cause I think you'll probably be like, I wouldn't change anything. But
Well,
if there's one thing.
here's why I wouldn't change anything. I don't know if I change something, what chain reaction that would cause. Like people just talk about, oh, I wouldn't do this, or I would have done this, or I would have, but I don't know what will happen if I mess with it. Like I might think to myself, well, okay, well, I would have saved more money early, I'd invest in something, I would have not done this, I would have not done that. But if I do those things, would I be where I am now? Like, because you're thinking that if you did those things, you'd be better off.
Right.
But that's not, that you don't know that that's true. You know what I mean? Like somebody might get to a certain age and go, man, I should have saved more money when I was younger, right?
Right.
But if you save that money now, and let me say you tell yourself, well, I am in my early 20s, I'm gonna save money. So by the time I'm in my mid 30s, I'll have a lot of money, right? But in the life you have now, you didn't do that. So by your mid 30s, you didn't have that money.
Right.
In an alternative life, you're saying it would have been better if you did. But then in that alternative life, you reach your mid 30s, you have a bag of money and no experience, and you do not set a shit. By the time you get to the point in life where
Yeah.
we don't have the type of information to make them kind of statements. I not changing nothing. Because I not in charge here. What is the boss? Yeah, he do what he had to do. I not changing shit. I right where I good. Everything that happened to me, that was supposed to happen.
Right. It's all part of the journey.
It's part of the master's plan.
One thing you are intuitive, brother. Yes, Naki, big up to Naki. She's a Calypsonian as well. She
Big
said
up Naki.
Yeah. So if there's one thing you could change for the betterment of the soca industry, what would that be?
I think that artists have to understand that we all have to thrive. We have to all help each other to thrive.
I feel like
yeah, we have to thrive. If you if we continue with the thing of having this one supreme artist and everybody aiming for this spot, or just top 10 and all that. Like we have to really try to create a space where there's just so many people doing well, and in that way you have something that the world can be attracted to. Like what's happening in Trinidad, the music starts to spread, and there are all these different personalities, and everybody have somebody that they could love. Everybody have something that they could talk about that will touch somebody somewhere in the world. Yeah, we should really, and I'm seeing it happening. People talk about fight down and thing and whatever, but I haven't seen a lot of that, and maybe I've been fortunate, but I haven't seen no big set of fight down and all that kind of thing. I've seen people really help.
Right.
I've seen, I've seen a lot of love among this generation of artists. You
Yeah.
know, um, I would say I would also change the fact that so many soca artists think that you have to approach soca through the door of the flesh. Like you can't approach soca through the door of the spirit. And that's a real dread thing, and we've told a lot of the female artists, or we've used it as an excuse, and we say, that is freedom,
Right.
if you dress this way, and if you bend over, and if you and I would say I would believe that if there was an alternative. So if there was a female artist in soca who was doing something different, then I would say the people who doing the other thing, they're doing it by choice.
Right.
But when it seems as though for female artists there is no choice but to do this particular thing, then I had to ask myself, is that freedom or is that fear?
Right.
When I see that most of the male artists are singing about rum or sex,
Yeah.
and we say that as freedom, I say, well, is that freedom or is that fear? Because do you feel as though if you sing about spiritual things, if you sing about certain things, then you're not going to get higher in effect, then you're not going to get a road march,
Right.
then you're not going to, you know what I mean? But if you're always following or waiting to see what's popular before you do it, then you'll always be behind the curve. You'll never set a trend in your life. Setting a trend is knowing that you don't really know where you're gonna go, but you're gonna just be yourself.
Yeah.
And if it catch on, then it catch on. If not, then at least I was myself.
Naki is saying they are sang spirits a calypso alone.
Well, it's all calypso. That's the next thing. That's the next T-Fed. We went and renamed the thing Soca, but it's all calypso.
Right.
And we should have just left it like that. We should have just said we were singing calypso. Like we should have just leave it right there, and we would have been good. Because calypso did the work beforehand.
Yeah.
The whole world knows calypso.
Yes.
Now we're struggling for the world to know soca.
Right.
But it's all calypso. And,
Yeah.
in the years to come, all I go see.
Yeah.
Mark my words.
Yes. Shady is saying what you give is what you get. No, I could speak for myself, right? I know when I started back then, 2019, I came out different because from what I've seen, is like saying about wine, you have to look sexy. To this day, like people will even call me and be like, you need to show more skin. And I'm like, why? Why can't I be me? And I will always say they will love me for who I am. If they find out show you enough skin, that's them, right? And a lot of my songs was wine, jump, wave, whatever. Now I'm like telling writers, if I go to a writer, I don't want to do that no more. I want positive songs. And then I'm also like, how I can make this switch without, because they will say something. They'll be like, we're going on with you. You know?
Yeah, Miss Naki says almost like you're a dumb yourself to sing soca. And that's a big lament to me. Like, man, our people are so brilliant.
Yeah.
And we're so wise and we're so beautiful. And why is it that the world constantly wants to tell us that all they want from us is sex and violence? And we was wise before the world was awake to itself.
Right.
We had civilizations, we had medicine, we charted the stars, we charted the sea, we knew so much about so much, and now here we are, and they're telling us that the best we have to offer the world is
flesh.
it's flesh and violence.
Yeah.
And I refute that. I don't care. That is the hill I die on. Me don't really care. Anybody else don't want to be on that trip, die them.
Right.
I don't really care. Like I said from before, God is the boss. He will take care of what he had to take care of. My mission is my mission. So if you feel as though you want to do something different and that's not where you want to be, then you do what you had to do. Trust me when I tell you, we were on this road for a long, long, long time. Everybody going through the door of the flesh. Everybody singing all kind of thing, and we sit down by the door spirit. They like knock, knock, knock. I
I
only want to I
like that.
want to come in the room, but if the room Harrell does, this is the door I want to come through. So I go and sit down here until this door open, and I'll let me in the room through this door. Until then, I can't go through these other doors. I'm just gonna be right here. Right here.
You
You
see what
know?
Shady's saying?
Mm.
Always remember you are the creator of the art. Never conform. There's always someone out there that will receive. Exactly. I believe so. I always believe so. I will always tell my management I'll put on baggy jeans and run out because it's all the
And
sexy
you,
clothes.
and honestly, you should. Like I would support that 100% because we need a change in the soca. Like
Yeah.
from the women. Like we need women who coming out and singing empowerment songs that have nothing to do with how well they can wind up on a man. Like
As Angel did it.
yeah, and Ella got put in a certain basket, but Ella was very successful at what she did. She
Yes.
chose a certain route. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And like people like I would say like Alison Hines prove I believe that you could come in this thing and hold a certain order. Fian is another one who I believe you come in. Terry is another one I believe you come in and you could hold a certain order and do what you have to do and make your music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we have a lot of people like Stacey Sobers and Vonette Bigfoot and whatever, and they may not be these big soca artists, and some people don't even know who they are, but
Right.
they are women who are out there forging a path. You know, and I believe that we're right there. We are right there in the moment to receive a female soca artist who is saying, "I'm not singing that. I'm not necessarily dressing like that. Yes, I gonna come on the stage in a baggy jeans and a crop top and still look real sexy and all of them man and them gonna want me still same way. But what coming out of my mouth is nothing I've ever heard before.
Right.
You know what I mean? From a young, sexy, attractive, appealing person who could use their body
Right.
and sell it in a certain type of way and just decide, nah, I have some shit to say.
Yeah.
Which is not to say that you're not going to at some point dress as sexy as you want and go out on the stage and do whatever the hell you want to do.
Yeah.
But like I said before, when it seems that that is the only option, I don't think that is freedom. I think that is fair.
Oh boy, let's take it in this. I am also soaking the team, right? I am also
Mm.
soaking the team. You seem to be very grounded and humble. How do you manage to stay that way in the world that we live in today and in the industry that you are part of?
When I was younger, my father, he was a man well respected in the Muslim community. And when we used to go to the mosque, he was a man people was working for him and that kind of stuff. Whenever we go to the mosque, he pick up a broom and he start sweeping the place, right? I remember asking him one day, because he always busy too. I was like, why you stop and do that?
Yeah.
He say, that is to remember that I am not better than anybody,
Right.
you know, and I'm not better than anybody. I'll never get to a point where, you know, you have a big team, so you can't make tea for somebody, or, you know, stop to have somebody change a tire, or, you know, your team sitting down and everybody tired and you waiting for them to bring food for you, that you too big to get up and go and get food to bring it. Like them kind of things now.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, when I think about achievements, right? When you think about achievements in life, you have people like Mansa Musa, who's one of the greatest kings ever to live. You know, you have people who were great scientists who changed the world with their ideas. And then me as a musician writing some songs here in the Caribbean that moving people, yes, for sure. But what have I really achieved in that sense to have any pride about myself? That I is somebody and I want to beat up my chest and say I is this and I is that. Nah, the earth is a speck of dust in the cosmos. And I am a speck of dust on a speck of dust. And I want to say I big and bad and I whatever. The earth and the cosmos and is billions and billions and billions of years old. I will not live past 120 unless they invent something that have me living real long. The
Yeah.
most I could hope and pray and pray and pray for is to stretch to 120. And by the time I reach there, I'll be frail. So
Right.
what
You
I
can't do
really
anything for yourself. Yeah.
like in the face of all these things, what am I talking about me being great? No, I just gain a little piece of the spark of wisdom, a
Yeah.
little piece of the spark of knowledge,
And
a
spreading
little
it.
piece of the spark of the Almighty, and I just trying to hold that little fire in my hand so and blow it and hope it will blow out and just give thanks.
Right.
That right, this is what it is. What any of us have to boast about?
Yeah. I remember when I
What?
messaged you, shout out to my manager, Jam Dong manager, and he said, respect to this, what you're saying there. Naki said, your soul is like you've been here before. You could tell.
Yes, and
Yeah.
I fed up out there. Sorry. I've been here already and I fed up out there.
I remember when I messaged you and I was like, you're so humble. And your response was, you remember?
I'm nothing to be humble about. I don't understand when people tell me that. I see
Yeah.
it all the time.
Yeah.
People say that like it's a compliment, and in my head I'm like, but what it have to not be humble about?
Hmm.
I have, let me just even say in terms of musical achievements, I have a Grammy yet. I have a couple million sitting in my bank
But
account lying, you know.
even if you should still be humble, because the Lord giveth and taketh away, yeah?
But I just saying, the Grammy is not gonna make you not humble. I'm just saying, if we're talking about
Mm-hmm.
achievements, you know, people just get one hit song in Carnival and all of a sudden it's, you don't know who is me, or you want to get a cut in the line, you don't want to stand up in a bank crying behind nobody, you don't want to, man, calm down and live life and let life be sweet.
Oh my, I remember artist saw me in Orlando. I was like, what you doing here? And I was like, well, I had a show. And I was like, you just got bookings? I was like, you just got bookings?
Easy now,
I
easy.
told him. So we get ready to wrap up. So I like to do 5 favorite things. So you have to answer right real fast, right?
Uh-huh.
Favorite Trinbago dish.
Pilau,
Ooh, coleslaw and avocado.
avocado, I know what it goes for.
Glass of mommy.
See black eyes. More like 10 actually, I
Oh
really
my
guys. Okay.
gosh. What's your favorite place to visit in TNT?
The ocean, deep water.
Mm,
Yeah,
you're a good swimmer.
absolutely.
All
You
right.
noticed.
Okay. Favorite song of all time. Any artist, any genre.
Favorite song of all time. Favorite song of all time. The song that came to my brain immediately when you said it, so I just want to sing that song. How can you be sitting there telling me that you
Mm,
care when every time I look around, the people suffering, they're suffering
mm,
in every way,
mm.
in every way. Oh no, 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 no.
Voice.
We're the survivors. Yeah, that.
Voice one. Favorite movie.
Oh my God, my favorite movie of all time. It probably a toss up between Braveheart
Hmm.
and Demolition Man. Like it's a real weird thing there too.
Okay.
But I like Lord of the Rings too. I love Lord of the Rings.
Really?
Yeah,
Never.
that's me
Never
there.
watched
That
it.
what?
Mm-mm-mm. I'm like, yeah, I like a lot of crime shows, crime solving shows, anything with
You like
combat.
crime? You like
I
crime?
like law. So
That's bad man. Crime.
like no,
It's
no,
a
no, no, no,
bad
no, no.
man.
No, I am for the people that a lot of people already know I'm in the military, so anything with combat and stuff,
Right.
yeah, that's me.
Hunger Games is
Favorite
a vibes too, Naki, for
Hunger
sure.
Games.
Favorite
Your
what?
favorite pastime.
My favorite pastime is right now drawing.
Mm. What do you like to draw? Birds, the ocean.
I'll, I know you don't know that I'm a visual artist as well, so I'll send you some of my stuff when we come up to that.
Okay. All right. I'm waiting to see that. Now, tell me and everybody here, how did you convince Granny Nila to join social media?
Convince. She's a star. I'm convinced she have nothing. I put her camera on, she having a time. She don't care.
Yes.
Attention is attention. She don't care. Once she get the attention, she do business.
How much brass have you shined in your lifetime?
Actually, I striking against shining brass since I was youth. So I ain't really shine that much brass. Mm-mm.
I have 3 more for you. What can we expect from Muhammad and Freetown Collective in the near future? I know you said you're working on something big.
More music, more music, more events.
Hmm.
We actually about to launch our acoustic tour. So every year
Hmm.
after Carnival, we do an acoustic tour in Trinidad, which we
Hmm.
now started taking as well to other spaces. So we've had it twice in London over the last 2 years. We want
Okay.
to do one. We're going to do one in Canada this year. Hopefully, we'll be doing one in New York as well this year.
Nobody comes to the
So
West Coast.
we're kind of far out there. What are you worried about? let me see. But yeah, um,
That's
we
nice. That's nice.
but one of the things that we deliberately are doing right now is re-injecting storytelling
Mm-hmm.
and calypso
Mm-hmm.
back into the soca
Right.
and soul and speaking about things that need to be spoken about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, for sure.
I like that.
We have
I like that.
a lot of great music coming.
What advice would you give or can you give to persons wanting to enter the industry and those thriving artists like myself that have already started their journey?
Um, a young man asked me recently, he say, I see you all at this place and that place. How you reach there? I said to
Mm-hmm.
him, are you willing to sacrifice your 20s and at least half of your 30s?
Mm-hmm.
Is is the question. Are
Right.
you willing to miss birthdays and family things and work twice as hard as everybody around you for twice as little pay?
Mm-hmm.
Are you what are you willing to sacrifice for this thing? Because if you know that you want to start off and become comfortable very quickly and have a comfortable life,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, this is not for you. Because even if you find success early on,
All right.
your comfort is not guaranteed. This
Mm-hmm.
is hard work. It looks nice because we travel here and we travel there, and they see you on stage in front of a set of people, and
Mm-hmm.
people loving you, and as a man, girl like you, and as a girl, man, all kind of
Yeah.
stupidness. But they don't understand how these things um, affect a human life.
Mm-hmm.
So understand, and you could never understand, but be prepared to sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
Two, run your shit like a business
Right.
as quickly as you can. Don't come in here and feel it's all for the love of the thing
Mm-hmm.
and it's all about the love and whatever.
Yeah.
Go and try to understand the business of what you're doing. And if you don't understand it, find somebody who understands and let them teach you something about it. Get your finances in order as quickly as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And three, know who you are and
Mm.
don't
That part.
step away from that in order to achieve what you think will be success.
Yeah.
Because you could lose yourself thinking that that is the path to success and
Mm-hmm.
still not be successful. Imagine you doing something you don't want to do. You choose to do art, which means that you're not in the traditional path, you're not making money easily and
Yeah.
whatever. And then when you choose to do that, you choose to be somebody that you are not.
Mm.
And then you fail at that. Jesus Christ.
So that you tell
Embarrassment.
the truth.
Embarrassment,
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean?
I
Yeah.
always like to add, not everything that goes with this goal, not every pan that knock is calling you, because you have to put your foot down on certain things, especially as females. It's a whole different ball game,
Yep.
and you have to be saying no, and let them realize that you are not on that, and they will respect you when they realize you are not on that. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah. You all have it tough. You all have it
we
tough.
do.
The
So.
ones who come through like yourself and really try to make something of yourself
Yeah.
and do something, I applaud you all. I have real respect for you all.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Could you give your social media handles? I mean, I know people know Freetown Collective, but I just want you to give your social media handles so people could follow you, follow the journey, see what's coming so they could get on board, purchase the songs, download and stream.
Yeah. At We Are Freetown on
Mm-hmm.
Instagram. I mean, my at An Yan Wu Child, but it should be here
What
when
what
you
is
see the live.
what is the meaning behind that?
So Anyang, who is a character from a novel called Wild Seeds
Okay.
by a writer called Octavia Butler.
Mm.
And when I read the novel, I literally fell in love with this character. I felt like she was my mother.
Okay.
So when I came to Instagram, I just put Anyang Wu child in it.
Mm.
But Anyang Wu also is the Igbo goddess of the sun. So I'm a sun sign. I'm a child of the sun.
I'm sure Naki could relate to that. Zunaki
Mm-hmm.
is her real name actually. We just call her Naki. Um, so I really, really appreciate you for stopping by and
No
joining me on
problem.
Behind the Soca. You give so much knowledge, right? I want to end with me
Mm-hmm.
singing a piece of a song, and when I point at you, I want you to join in on the song.
Oh no.
Yes, you were singing the whole time. You shouldn't have any problem, right? So if I mess it up, I'm sorry. But this is one that's near and dear to me. So here we go. How blessed am I to know you like this. When you touch me, I am free. People search for heaven all their lives. How lucky am I? Heaven's breathing next to me. Ocean
Ocean mi
back,
ba,
peace and
Tijani. Ocean mi ba, yeah. Ocean mi ba, Tijani. I'll be there for yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you so very much. I appreciate you.
I appreciate
Right.
you.
Blessings and peace and pure love on your journey. And thank you for joining me on tonight's segment of Behind the Soca.
Thank you so much. Have a good one.
Good night, you too. Bye
Blessings.
bye.